What's going on over there, Mr. Casserole? Come here. All of your fans are here to see you. So is the audio good for everybody? Despite being a little echoey. Let's turn this bunny this way so that she looks a little bit less gigantic. She can come closer to him. This guy, put him here. There we go. Perfect. All right, sound is good. Okay, good. So we are over here at Tiny Kittens HQ with the casserole. I've been working hard to get another room ready, kitten proofed and ready for kittens. So, excuse me, where are you going? Well, he has very important business to attend to over there. So now that it's ready, I'm hoping to be able to bring him over here during the day when I'm over here and have him on the cam, and then we'll see about evening viewing. But this is better than nothing, I figure, because you will be able to watch him during the day going forward for the next little while. So you can get your Cassidy fix. I know that many of you were going through withdrawal, and rightfully so, because look how delightful he is. He's very excited about his new cat tree. Well, it's new to him anyway. You will be amazed at how quickly he can go up and down and launch himself off of there as if he did have 4 legs. So I'm also going to see how it goes, bring a friend over to babysit him so that he doesn't get lonely when I'm not around in here with him. He does still enjoy throwing a tantrum here and there when he does not get his way, or when he is in a room alone more recently, like he used to, if you remember when he was little and I would put him back in his room and he would be filled with extreme woe for a few minutes. He still does that sometimes. So as you can see, he is doing great. He is gigantic. He was 1.67 kilograms yesterday when we went into Mountain View Vet. So he's growing. He's still smaller than Bootsy and Hiccup and Bambi, and I think Tigress even, and Thumper. So he's still smaller than the bigger half of the DreamWorks and Cisco kittens. But I'm sure that his missing legs, we'll chalk it up to his missing legs. He is growing very quickly. He has already outgrown his tiny wheelchair, and we will be giving it back to Handicap Pets Canada so that they can use it for, they've just been contacted. Oh, we'll wait, Bunny. We'll wait. They've just been contacted by someone who has a rescue kitten, a 6-week-old rescue kitten with paralysis. So the wheelchair will continue to be used to help more kittens like Casserole, which is really awesome. I know, remember when the wheelchair looked so giant on him? It's pretty amazing. So that's cool. So the big announcement. Are you ready for the big announcement? Oh, Nora's on. Hi, Nora. Noor has flown all the way in from France to visit. She is very cool. And I will see you tomorrow. Okay, so the big announcement is that, well, wait, let me just make sure that I have all of my information. It would be nice if he would come and hang out over here, but he's very busy with his new cat tree. I guess we could go up close. Let's go in for a close up. Excellent camera work as usual. Sorry. No. Look how adorable he is. Okay. So I'll give you some background first. So in case anyone is just joining us and hasn't been following along. So Cassidy is a formerly feral kitten. He was born feral to a feral mom and a dad who is someone's pet. We have since spayed his mom, so there will be no more Cassidys born. Not that he was born without his legs, but no more Cassidy siblings, cousins. So Cassidy is a great example of why spaying and neutering is so important, because he's incredibly lucky that he was spotted and rescued in time. And there are so many other kittens that are born that aren't so lucky. So even if you let your cats have kittens and then you find them all good homes, we just don't have enough homes available for all of the unwanted kittens that are already out there. So there are many like Cassidy that never get rescued. So he's one of the super lucky ones. And ever since the day he was rescued, he's a very special spirit. He has a very remarkable spirit. He's full of life and he wanted to live, and he had to fight so hard to survive those first 9 weeks without his feet and his lower legs, and he had a huge infection. He wasn't able to get to food, so he was slowly starving to death, and he had gone about as far as he could go when the property owner spotted him and spent 2 days trying to trap him. And then I got him, and it took quite a bit of effort and love and exceptional veterinary intervention to get him where he is today, which is a healthy, happy, adorable kitten with a very loud purr. He doesn't know that he's any different from anybody else. He doesn't let his situation interfere with having fun and playing and being a kitten. And it's been pretty remarkable to see him go from so sick and so starved and just such horrible condition to where he is now. So huge thanks to Mountain View Vet, Dr. Ferguson and Dr. Henderson and the whole team over there for believing in me enough to give him a chance, even though the science was indicating otherwise, right? If you remember, his blood work initially was just awful. You know, he was basically a dead man walking, and all of the science, all of the tests backed that up. And so for them to actually trust that I insisted that he wanted to live and that there was something special about him, and they jumped right on board and really went above and beyond to make sure that he had every possible chance. And so you remember for the first, I don't know how long, month or 6 weeks, I wasn't allowed to say that he was officially out of the woods because of the infection and all of his, he was so depleted, he had so much to make up for. And now he's super healthy, he's been neutered, he's extremely adorable, and the number one priority now is trying to figure out the best possible solution for him that will give him the best possible quality of life long term. So you can see he does pretty well without anything. He climbs stuff with his front legs. He's super strong, like freakishly strong with his front legs. And he has no problem climbing the big cat tree at our house and chases the other cats around, and he goes up and down the stairs like a champ. He still mostly scoots, but the concern at this point is that when you see him, and most of you have probably seen the video of him in slow motion chasing the feather stick where it looks like he's running. So he actually looks fairly normal in that video. But the reason he looks, like when you look at it, you may not immediately think that there's anything different about him except maybe he has short legs. But the problem is that his knee joints have become de facto ankle joints in how they're functioning, and because of the physics of his legs. So when he's running, his fibula bones, which are the bones between the knee and the ankle, are absorbing the shock and forcing his knees to hyperextend, which I don't think is very comfortable for him. But he's such a little trooper, and I think he's feeling so much better now than he was, that he doesn't show any signs that it really bothers him, except when I do his physio sometimes. But I don't know if you can see the angle. Let's show them your angles. Work your angles, buddy. So if you can see the angle there. Oh, he's very busy right now. This knee is bending, about 70 degrees the wrong way. So it should be bending back completely the other way. It should be pointing this way. And instead it's pointing this way. So it's a pretty significant degree of hyperextension, and long-term, if we just let that go, he will completely lose functionality of his knees, and it probably will become painful for him and affect his quality of life. We don't really know for sure, but that's kind of the logical. I'm so busy right now. Very busy. Are you so busy? So busy. So oh, he's gonna run and hide. Kimsey's is getting some food, stocking up on food. He's not very brave about other people at first. This is his other people reaction. He's hiding in his fish bed. It's okay, buddy. So anyway, so that is one of the issues, and I'm sure many of you have seen me struggling with various homemade prosthetic devices that I've made. You guys have sent a million different creative solutions, all of which I've tried to use for him to try to get his knees braced at the appropriate angle or prevent them from hyperextending. But the challenge has been he has a lot of loose skin, and so because there's really nothing to hook prosthetics onto, even the professional prosthetics companies, the ones who do it for a living, have been pretty pessimistic about being able to do anything prosthetic-wise, at least until he's much bigger. And so, if the people who do it for a living and do it professionally are looking at just where his amputations are and the fact that he has 2 legs missing instead of just one, and if they're saying that that's not probably the best option long term, and after having struggled with it for so long, I don't think it's the best option for him. A prosthetic is something that would go over his stumps and basically be kind of a fake leg for him. And so it would go on externally. It would be taken on and off. Kinsey's walked by again. He's so scary. So that's one of the things that we've been looking into, though, very extensively, and because it's a less expensive way to get him walking properly if it was something that would work for him. So hey, buddy, what? It's ribbons. We like ribbons. That's a good boy. Oh, so brave. So brave. So prosthetics we've been looking into, but not a lot of hope there for the long term. I also have a human friend who has prosthetics for her feet, and while it's 1,000% better than not being able to walk, there's something that require adjustment and fine-tuning, and sometimes they pinch, sometimes they rub. They're not super comfortable. I've been somewhat hesitant about whether that's going to really do a lot for his quality of life. So, and it turns out it's probably not going to be a great option, although we're certainly still keeping our options open at this point because he has a lot of growing to do. Don't you? Don't you? So anyway, so over the last, it's been what, since September is when he came here, and it's now November, so it's been 2 months that he's been here. So you guys have seen every week, basically, kind of new strategy, new direction, trying to teach him how to use his legs, what back legs are for, how to move them, all that stuff. And we've made a ton of progress. He's very clever. And he never gives up. He tries really hard, and he does what he wants to do. He has Peace of Mind pet products made him some special ramps, and so he can get on the couch and get on the chairs and stuff like the other cats. And he does use them occasionally, but a lot of the time he just gets really excited and just like launches himself off of things or behaves like any other kitten, which is kind of adorable. But he's also doing really well with the litter box. He has a special, I'm basically using a boot tray for his litter box, which is not super easy to scoop because, you know, the bottoms are not smooth, but it's easy for him to get in and out of. And so he's been very good. He's almost better than you, Bunny, at using the litter box. So that's really cool. So anyway, so that's kind of a really long overview of where we kind of are now. He's doing really well. Litter box is one of the huge concerns from the beginning, but he's managing that like a champ. So maybe now he will give us some snuggle vision. Well, there he is, Bessie. Now you can have a little nap. Oh, what a good boy. Are you a good boy? So anyway, so the announcement is very exciting. So you know that we've been working with some specialists, and we've been trying to figure out, you know, oh, he got hooked on the wire. Been trying to figure out the best case scenario for him, and just trying to preserve some mobility in his knees. And we were contacted a couple of weeks ago by someone who has been working with this really great vet whose name is Dr. Marcellin Little, and he is currently at NC State, North Carolina State in the United States, and he has done some really pioneering work with implants and knee replacements and things like that. And so he has come on board to advise and work with us and with Dr. Ferguson. And so if implants are an option for Cassidy, implants are like what Oscar the Bionic Cat, many of you have heard of Oscar the Bionic Cat. So basically they get implanted into his bone, and then it's not something that comes on and off, it's there permanently and becomes just an extension of his leg. It's the most natural option, so would give him the best quality of life long term. And so that's kind of what I've been secretly hoping for since the beginning for him. But it's something that is super complicated, and, you know, again, because of the nature of his injuries, it's something that is going to have to be custom designed and really complicated. And so if it's possible to do, Dr. Marcellin Little is the very best at doing this, and he is currently he's doing research into a number of areas, but one of which is knee replacements and implants in a way that they sort of become part of the cat, and there's not, well, I'm not going to get into all the too much technical stuff because I actually don't know. I don't want to say the wrong thing. At this point, it's very early on, but and we're still assessing options. But the fact that he has agreed to advise us and is willing to help is so exciting that I am completely confident that if implants are possible for Cassidy, he will be able to figure out a way to make it happen. So that is super exciting. So what we're doing is we have kind of weekly meetings set up to monitor his progress, and he has some very, very specific things for us to try and some new therapeutic devices like a special cart that will help keep his knees bent and some a special garment that will help keep his knees bent. And so I'm really excited about that because I've been trying really hard to keep his knees flexing, and it just gets harder and harder, and it takes a lot of time, and it's just, you know, he still is hyperextended all the time, so except for when I'm doing his physio with him. So to have someone on board who has done similar things before with other cats, but never anything specifically like this. But has been focusing on helping animals with this sort of thing. And what I think is really, really exciting about what he's doing is because he's a research vet, anything that he would be able to do for Cassidy will help other animals. And also the work he's doing has applications for humans in some cases. So I think that's really, really cool. And I haven't been able to meet him yet, so I'm very much looking forward to that. But I'm just super grateful that he is willing to help, and that maybe him helping Cassidy will be able to help other cats and dogs and people, which is super cool. So that's really exciting. I don't have a lot of specifics because we're just early in the process. We just met, Dr. Ferguson and I just met yesterday to do some measurements and different things. And so I imagine there will be quite a lot of that as we try to determine, you know, where to go next and get him started with his new cart. So it's pretty cool. So as part of that, a lot of people have been asking about, you know, how they can help and all of that. It will be quite expensive to, if we end up doing special implants for him, it will be quite expensive, and not because any of the vets are charging or are profiting off of any of this work. It's just, it costs a lot of money to do cutting edge research and to invent things and to fabricate them, and the number of experts that are required. It's just, it's very costly. This is not something that is readily available to, you know, every pet. And that's part of why it's so cool that we might be able to be a part of, you know, making it a little more accessible and And but that said, it is going to be quite expensive. And so we will need to start fundraising. And so you can donate. The best way to donate, if you would like to, is to go to tinykittens.com/donate. I should also say that this is something I've been thinking about quite a bit, and because I struggle with, a lot of the time I struggle with, if we're spending money on one thing, we're not spending money on something else. And when we're looking at how much this could end up costing, there's always an opportunity cost to how, like I said, if we spend a lot of money on his implants, then that's less money that's going to, TNR and that sort of thing. So I feel like I have an obligation to make sure that the money is spent wisely and that the most value, that donors get the most value for their donations. So kind of some of the criteria that I go through when I'm thinking about how we're spending our money and whether or not I should try to fundraise for something so expensive is, obviously for Cassidy specifically, he's obviously worth it. His quality of life would be improved. We want him to have the best, so that's kind of a given. But one of the things I ask is, if I spend money taking this particular action, will it have an impact beyond just this specific action? So if, in this case, if I fundraise and get implants for Cassidy and they cost quite a bit of money, what is the potential for that action to have a greater benefit? So in this case, obviously raising awareness about spaying and neutering, Cassidy's been really, really effective at that. So that's a plus. Because it's research, it will help other cats in the future, which is a huge plus, and dogs, animals, I guess, in the future. And it also could benefit humans in the future, which is, I think, pretty incredible. So to me, it does satisfy that criteria to a pretty significant degree. What I would like to do, though, is try to get some, corporate sponsors or some other big donors that maybe wouldn't ordinarily donate to animal rescue or some sort of, or this sort of cause, and potentially because the technology could benefit humans in the future. We may have additional opportunities to fundraise to help cover the costs from people who would not be diverting money away from other charitable causes necessarily. So I don't know if that makes sense, but I just want you guys to know that it is something that I have spent a great deal of time considering, and whether it's the right choice to ask for so much money, and I don't even know how much money it is going to be yet, but it's going to be a lot, like many thousands. But yeah, so whether it's even right ethically for me to ask for that for one kitten. So you guys will have to decide if you support, if you think it's important to support the research part of it and that it could benefit other animals and potentially humans in the future, then I would love to have you donate if you feel that your money is better spent elsewhere at your local shelter or for a spay and neuter fund or whatever else, then please do that. I want to be really, I guess, open about. I don't usually ask for big amounts of money. I've tried not to, but I think this is kind of a special. I think these are special circumstances, and I think there is a much larger benefit to be gained. And to me, that does justify a greater expenditure. But you guys can kind of determine to what degree you feel it is prudent and a good use of your money to continue to pursue this implant scenario. And what it will entail for now is new therapeutic devices, weekly meetings, and continuing to work with him and see how he progresses, and then we'll just continue to develop the plan from there and see what Dr. Marcel Little feels is the best course of action. And so, in order to really proceed with that, I need to be able to know that we can follow through on our end when the time comes. We'll have to, I'm sure, at some point travel out there. A lot of this is speculation again because it's early on, but even if he doesn't end up being a candidate for something like that, any money that is raised that is not used to get to that point will go into the TNR fund to help more feral cats. So I can promise you that your money is going to be used to help cats. But the rest will be up to you guys. If you support that, or if you just want to support in other ways, that's awesome too. So anyway, sorry that got really long-winded, but it's something that I've been kind of struggling with, and I've talked it over with many people, and I just want to be super careful to be a good steward of your money and your trust, and to make sure that I do everything I can possibly do to maximize the impact of every dollar that I spend. And I do think that Cassidy has a great deal of potential to get lots of media attention. He's already gotten that, to get the message out about spaying and neutering. And if he's able to if he's able to help advance this implant technology, and if it potentially can help humans too, I think that's pretty special, and I think that's an opportunity that doesn't come up every day. So that's the lowdown. But the big announcement, I'm super excited to have Dr. Marcel Little willing to even spend his time helping us. That's just such a big relief for me, because it's been I guess hard. I kind of feel like I'm not doing enough for Cassidy, and he's done so much on his own, and I want to make sure that he gets every chance that he deserves. And I'm not an expert in any of this, and it's a pretty specialized knowledge set that is required to address this sort of injury. So it's pretty exciting to have one of the top people in the field, like internationally, advising us. So we're super grateful for that. I'm super grateful for that. So I will continue to keep you posted. If you would like to donate, you can do it at tinykittens.com/donate. I will certainly keep you updated as we learn more. And you will get to see him at least during the day as much as possible. Tomorrow, of course, is gala day, so that's going to be, I'm not exactly sure what will happen because I won't be here most of the day. So I will try to work something out for tomorrow, but at least after that, I will bring him over here with me. He'll come to the office with me. Right, buddy? Oh, it'll be so much fun. Now he's so sleepy. So thanks for tuning in, and thank you so much for your support and for everything you've done for us, for Tiny Kittens, and for Cassidy, and for all the other kittens, and for being advocates for responsible pet ownership and spaying and neutering. That's pretty awesome. So it is still too easy. It's still too early to say what is in store for Cassidy in the future because we don't know what his needs will be, and obviously costs. We don't know what costs will be required, so it's too early to say what his future holds. But he will be with me until that happens. The link to donate is at the bottom of the screen. If anyone wants it, I could make it a little bit bigger. It's probably not very readable. And it's also in the more event details. Oh, and I was also going to say, please don't email or call or anything Dr. Marcellin Little, because he just wants to do the research and help out, and I just want to make sure that we're super respectful of his time and not bombarding him with emails or calling or anything like that. So please just for now be grateful for him from afar, and we'll see how things develop. You can always do a thank you post on Dr. Ferguson's Facebook page, though, for Mountain View Vet, because she's been tracking him down, working with him, and spending a lot of time on this. So all right. So now catio time is approaching, so I need to get the boys moved. I need to get the downstairs boys moved somewhere safe, and then I've got some gala stuff that is now late. So I will get back to work. Thanks for tuning in to the big, exciting announcement. Let's see, where can I put this? That's such a random place for him to decide to sleep. There. And Bunny will continue to be his #1 babysitter, along with Frank. He's such a good boy. Are you such a good boy? I think he's a little nervous because he's in a new place. Lots of strange noises. But he's pretty adorable. So as he gets used to it, he'll probably be a little more excited. He's pretty cute though. Pretty special, aren't you? And funny. Okay. All right, everyone. I'll check in when I can and rescue the bunny at some point.